turn our attention to men's doubles now, and home pair Leo Roli Carnando and Bagas Maulana up against the former champions Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. Well, this is the second quarter of the draw, and potentially we could have a repeat of the 2023 final, which is when Rankireddy and Shetty won this title. Because in the final 2 years ago, they beat Aaron Char and Sowi Eek, who are the number 3 seeds in this little section of the draw. Well, Carnando and Maulana only formed their partnership in August last year at the Japan Open. And considering that Rankireddy and Shetty have sadly had to have so much time off so far this year, it's not altogether surprising that this is the first meeting between the two pairs.
Choose the red, you have the black. Which end?
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't hear that, Steen.
It looked to me as if the Indonesians won the coin toss, but it was up to Shetty and Rankireddy to decide which end they would start on, and they had difficult time selecting.
Well, this is Leo Roli Carnando. He's 23 years of age, so he'll turn 24 next month, from Klaten in central Java. Actually, their world ranking has gone down 1 place. The world rankings published just about an hour ago, down to number 10 from their career high of 9. Bagas Maulana will also have a birthday next month. He'll turn 27, and he's from Cilacap. Well, as far as their opponents are concerned, Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy, he's 24, and he's from Andhra Pradesh. They shot up 5 places on the brand new world ranking. They're 22 now, back into the top 25, but only 7 tournaments towards their world ranking. As I was telling you, they were winners here 2 years ago, and they were semi-finalists in 2021 when the tournament was held in Bali. For Rankireddy and Shetty, they reached their 3rd semi-final of the year last week in Singapore. Only 5 tournaments so far in 2025. Started the year very well with a semi-final at both the Malaysia Super 1000 and their home event, the India Open. That's their coaching bench. Tan Kim Her.
Ready to play.
And Sumit Reddy. Well, Carnando has been out injured. Nice to see him back, although last week in Singapore, they lost in the first round, this Indonesian pair, to Kedlin and Puavaranukroh in 3 games.
Are you ready? You were mentioning that.
Well, just informing the umpire that it will be Shetty to serve first. So if the Indonesians did win the coin toss, they've chosen to receive.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Bagas Maulana and Leo Roli Carnando, Indonesia. And on my left, Saviraj Rankireddy and Shetty, India. Shetty to serve to Bagas Maulana. Level. Play.
So it is the former champions, Rankireddy and Shetty, nearest to us, that's getting this first round match underway against Carnando and Maulana.
1 love.
Well, when this Indian combination won the title here 2 years ago, they became the first players from India ever to win a Super 1000 event.
1-0.
And that, of course, is since the inception of the World Tour in 2018. Because that's slightly misleading, isn't it, Steen? Because, of course, Saina Nehwal won this Indonesian Open title an incredible 3 times, having been in 4 finals.
Yeah, that's
But
fantastic.
That was the Super Series era.
1.
Kidambi won as well during the Super Series.
There was once they won at the same year, Saina and Kidambi, I think.
No, I don't think so. I think Kidambi won in 17. Nehwal won in 9, 10 and 12.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Brilliant defence. Super defence from Shetty.
1.
He was sliding out on the grey carpet, Shetty. Looks okay, but he's been bugged by injury. In fact, according to the newspapers, Rankireddy stated that he felt that he still was in pain. Shetty just wasn't telling him.
3.
Sometimes you don't want to bother your partner with things they can't change anyway.
Service over.
Yeah, I can understand that.
2.
If you decide to play, then play as good as you can.
Yes, and if you go onto court, in my opinion, I think you declare yourself mentally and physically fit to play.
Yeah.
If something happens during the match,
then it's a different case.
It's a different case. But, you know, not that Shetty has used any pain or injury problem as an excuse. In fact, the opposite. He's said, certainly from what I've read on his social media, that he's absolutely delighted to be back on court and fighting and challenging again.
5.
Oh, what a tumble serve from Carnando. I think this match hangs a lot on Leo Roli Carnando. It's a lot of responsibility coming back from injury, but I think he needs to play well for the Indonesians to have a good shot at winning this match.
Service over. 4-6. Service over. 7-4. Girard. Out.
Serve is short.
Service over.
Indonesian pairs have
5-7.
a simply marvellous record at their home event over the years. At 24 of the 42 previous men's doubles titles won. There's another terrific tumble serve. That's
6-7.
So that's what, about 57% of all men's doubles titles won by Indonesian pairs, but only 4 times have 2 different pairs won the Indonesian Open during the Super Series and World Tour era.
Wow.
That's Gideon and Sukamuljo, 3.
Anderson and Shetty.
Absolutely.
8-6. Service over. 7-8.
Wow. What a powerful smash from Maulana.
8-all.
And that was a nice tumble serve from him as well. This is the way the Indonesians should win the match, win the service situation, get the right formation, and attack.
Service over. 9-8.
That's well left.
Attack.
Lift wasn't deep enough from Rankireddy.
It's over. 9-10. Leo, get your racket. Nine, 10.
Back level.
10, all.
Amazing tumble serve again from Carnando, and it means that he and Maulana go to the mid-game interval with the 1-point advantage. And when you consider that they were 4-7 down at one stage, that's a remarkable comeback.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Eleven, 10. Play.
So 11-10 as play resumes in this opening game.
Service over.
Well done by Shetty and Rankireddy to keep Carnando out of it. And that's going to be the big issue here. What are they going to do with Carnando's tumble serve, and now also Maulana's tumble serve?
Oh, brilliant. Well, you said an awful lot would depend on this man and how he was playing.
11.
Wonderful interception. The timing on that was exquisite. Nice.
Super play. I recall last year's All England, 2024. The Indians had reached the final of their home event, then they went on to win the Olympic, what's it called? Pre-tournament, trial tournament that was in
the French Open.
The French Open that was the week before All England last year. They won that and looked like the favorite to not only win All England, but also perhaps the Olympics. And then they met Maulana and his then partner, Mohammed Fikri, and lost in the straight games, 15 and 16.
13.
And they simply couldn't handle the tumble serve, the Indians.
Well, talking of All England, this Indonesian pair, of course, this year reached the All England final, unseeded. It was an all-unseeded All England final. They lost out to Kim Won Ho and Saw Seung Jae. But my goodness, that was unexpected as well, wasn't it?
It was. Look at that. I think that would have come up too short, but no. Oh no, maybe it would have actually been good. But tumbles so wildly that Shetty can't return it.
Well, it was left knee ligaments that was the injury problem for Carnando. And he's wearing his compression stockings, so we can't see if that left knee is heavily bandaged or not. I suspect it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice return from Rankireddy.
Yes.
15.
Look where his racket was, though, Rankireddy, after he played that return. It was down by his ankles.
Yeah.
Service over. 16-13.
Such a good front court player, Carnando. 3 medals from World Junior Championships. 2 gold and a silver.
Were they all 3 with Daniel Martin, or?
No, in fact, 2 of them were mixed doubles.
Ah, yeah,
with
that's right.
Jamil.
That's right. He won a title there. They must have, when he's got 2 gold.
Exactly. He won the mixed doubles gold in 2018 in Markham. And then a year later in Kazan in Russia. He was in 2 finals.
Service over.
1 gold
14,
with Daniel Martin
16.
and silver in the mixed. Wow, fast and furious. Terrific smash from Rankireddy.
15, 16.
Super return of serve.
Service over.
Gosh, he's got just
17,
lovely touch, hasn't he,
15.
Carnando?
yes. It also seems to me that he's a very emotional player. When he plays well, he's amazing. But when things aren't going his way, then it's the opposite.
Service over. 16, 17.
Not that he shows his emotion.
No, not at all.
Wait. 17. Oh.
So back level. 17 all opening game.
Oh, good defense.
Oh, it's landed in. The sideways drift playing its part in that rally.
18, 17.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. That looked wide almost the entire way.
Nice. I like that from
19,
Maulana.
17.
Racket arm outstretched, tiny backswing of the racket to play the backhand. Take a look at this technique. Held it, and then punched forward with that racket head. Super play. And now the Indonesians 2 points away from the opening game. That's well taken.
Service over. 18, 19.
When the Indian pair do get on the attack, Steen, that they have a lethal attacking play,
Yeah,
don't they?
they do.
That. Leo. Play.
Now, what on earth happened there?
Leo Carnando wasn't ready.
It's game point opportunities for Carnando and Maulana.
20. Game point. 18.
Carnando and Maulana.
And Bagas Maulana
21-18.
21-18.
Why he was trying to play back to Carnando on the front of the courts. Very dangerous thing to do, considering what we've been saying about Carnando's touch and his reading of the game on the front court. But there is confirmation, Carnando and Maulana take the open game, 21-18.
Break the rhythm first. The other guy, okay. Then, the next one, defend, take your time, breathe. The cross. Just get ready on it. Smash, good time, you drive, then come in. Jangan telat, come one step, body back, push back. Only the short guy, you serve to the short guy, putting on it. Whether you want to intercept or not. If you want to intercept,
Caught 1, 20 seconds. Caught 1, 20 seconds. Players on court. Leo. Second game. Level. Play.
So one game to the goods, Carnando and Maulana from Indonesia against the former world #1s and former champions here, Rankireddy and Shetty.
1 love.
Brilliant defence.
Wow.
2 love.
Perfect trajectory on the flick serve.
But how about that for a defensive
Yeah,
shot?
That's brilliant.
Savage. Service over. 1, 2.
Well, he was just deceived by the direction of the smash there. Rankireddy.
Service over.
Super
3,
placement.
1.
And he couldn't readjust, could he?
And it also makes sense to play it cross, because that opens up so that he can come forward straight. Didn't look like he was intent to do that, though.
Service over.
Didn't have to.
2, 3.
Yeah, there's just 1 or 2 errors like that with the Indian combination, which I think come about when you're not match fit.
Yeah.
You're not quite used to the pace and the intensity of match play. Yeah, it's another good smash. This time from Maulana. Well, once again, going across the body of the player on the cross court. He won 2 points from that tactic already in this second game.
Ooh.
It's going wide. That can't have been long by much. In fact, Carnando wants the instant review to have a look at that. Of course, the shuttle holding up that far side of the court.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Yeah. That's a wasted
One
challenge.
challenge remaining. Service over. 3-5. Chiraj Yusuf. Play.
Well, as far as the Indian player is concerned, Steve, they simply have to get themselves on the attack, because defending and lifting
That's not going to
with
work.
the drift, apart from the fact that there's a likelihood of hitting long, like that last one.
7-3.
You don't want to lift to the Indonesians, who have been smashing particularly well.
No.
Oh, that's beyond the front service line.
And the good news for the Indians here is that on this near side, the tumble serve from especially Leo Carnando doesn't work exactly as well as from the other side. But that's sort of like a minor thing. There's still a lot of badminton to be played, and like you mentioned before, this match fitness, this being able to create exactly the right shot quality with little reaction time, that is so super crucial. And so far they've been stressed, Rankireddy and Shetty. It doesn't matter there, but he played it. Both his feet was out on the sponsor mark of the court there, Maulana.
Yeah, almost certainly would have gone long had he had left it. It's found the line. Well, it's called out. I think they'll win that challenge, Rankireddy and Shetty.
That's going to be interesting, because I think perhaps the cork landed outside.
Okay, well, it's where the cork lands.
But it was sort of like coming down sideways almost.
Challenge unsuccessful.
You're right, Steve.
One challenge remaining. 9-4.
Well done, line judge.
Play.
Thank you.
I didn't mean you, Steve.
Okay, no.
The real line judge.
That was a good job.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good coverage, ready with the racket. Chirag Shetty.
9.
They've got to start making their way back in this second game now.
That's long.
Service over. 10-5.
Nice.
Service over. 6-10.
Just wide.
7-10. Play on.
And it is the Indonesians who go to the mid-game interval with the advantage, a 4-point advantage, having already won the opening game.
Kalau dia sapi titik, dia pasti akan ngocok lagi di siang hari. Sama sekali kalau yang sama Shetty, servis.
20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Coaches, return back to your chair. Players on court. Bagas, Diogo. Leo to serve. 11-7. Play.
So 11-7, the advantage to the Indonesians, Carnando and Maulana. Push that wide. Did you manage to hear anything that Tan Kim He was saying to Rankireddy and Shetty?
I didn't hear it.
There was something about blocking or looking for the net. That's my interpretation of his gestures.
That sounds reasonable because, I mean, you definitely can't lift or play fast, flat game. Put it below the top of the tape.
11.
And get control over the rallies. That is the solution, playing that far side.
Well, that was a nice idea by Maulana. Ideas aren't enough, though.
Service over. 12-9.
That's his second service error.
Service over. 10-12.
Good rally for Shetty and Rankireddy, that one. I don't know, sometimes Maulana gets a little bit carried away at the front court. I think he got a lot of self-confidence when he was thrown in with his old partner in Thomas Cup because Daniel Martin got injured.
Sudirman Cup.
Sudirman Cup, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, now that's more attacking play. Yes, and they were absolutely brilliant, weren't they?
Won against the Koreans in the semi-final.
Yeah. Kept the tie alive. Four of the 5 points since the mid-game interval in favour of the Indian pair. Nice. Yeah, they're taking the shuttle far earlier now, Rankireddy and Shetty.
Yes.
And they're back level. 5 of the 6 points.
It's a no compromise playing style, and they should be able to do it. That's normally the nature of their game.
Well, well, well. Whatever Tan Kim He said, it's worked. 6 of the 7 points since the resumption of play after the mid-game interval. And into the lead. Into the lead for the first time in this second game. Lucky net cords.
And that's exactly what you need when you're on a roll like that. You need it to continue.
No delay.
Initially Carnando and Maulana who broke the rhythm by toweling down, and then Rankireddy decided that might as well have the court mopped anyway.
So 7 of the 8 points since the mid-game interval in favour of Rankireddy and Shetty. I think that's what you call a shift in momentum. But with that break, unofficial break, can they keep it going? The answer is yes.
12.
And there's a lot of pressure on the Indonesians now, because the Indians, they take a step forward on the court all the time, so there is really no room to play for on the front court. Or at least very little room. And look how the confidence level has completely changed.
Do you know, there was a shot from Maulana that you made a comment about.
That he's sort of got a little bit carried away.
Exactly. And since then, it's all gone horribly wrong for the Indonesians. And I've seen that before with Maulana. Quite often he tries a sort of trick shot between the legs or something like that, and then he loses his focus. That's brilliant. Utterly brilliant from Shetty.
17-12.
So that's 10-1.
10 of 11 points in favour of Rankireddy and Shetty. Gosh, I wish we'd been able to hear what Tan Kim He was saying. Finally, her arm is broken. But what damage has that done, I wonder? A sequence of 10 of 11 points after the mid-game interval.
Service over. 18-13.
Oh,
He's outside of the court again.
he was way outside the court when he played that, Maulana. They won the points anyway. But you watch where his feet are here. Look where he is. Well, there is only 4 points in it. So this is still more than possible for the Indonesians to win in 2 straight games.
Play.
Held by the net cord. Vicious bounce off the top of the tape from Carnando. That's a nice shot from Rankireddy. That little downward push towards the tram lines to the half-court area. Maulana started to move for it, but knew it was going past him. And because he started to move, Carnando at the rear court was slow to move forward. 2 points needed for the Indian pair to level this at 1 game apiece. Another net cord.
That's what they need to score points at the moment. 2 of the last 3 points they've hit the net court. 2 of the last 3 points that they've scored, Carnando and Maulana.
And now just 2 points the deficit. This is where nerves kick in, perhaps for the Indian pair. Not a bit of it.
No. And you can see that the tumble service not nearly as efficient on this near side as the opposite.
So 3 game point opportunities for Rankireddy and Shetty to send this to a decider. The first one is squandered. This time, and it's 1 game all. 21-18.
There's a challenge.
Oh, there's a challenge. I saw that as clearly, and what did you think?
Plum on the line.
Inside the line.
Challenge unsuccessful.
So
game.
it is 1 game all.
Second game won by
42
Istora
minutes
Senayan
into the
and
match.
Shetty, 21-18, 1 game all.
And 1 game all. Mirror image of the scoreline. Both games won and lost to 18.
Like 2 fast goals, you cannot control. Same to you, huh? Just pull a little bit, then get ready. Open, both of you open. Don't rush too fast, huh? Maybe I go down with my foot. Push up, because the wind here. Jagain terus, nyepetin dia habis lu rem ya, dia mesti nyotok lagi, lewatin lagi, ya. Nah, kamu siap lagi tuh, dia mau kencengin lagi, boleh. Dia siap pasti, ya. Oke? Incer ya. Fokus lagi. Bagus terus ya. Apa-apa ya. Ya. Bisa. Terasa. You take early. Don't stop, man. Just stop. Behind cover again. Then the last one.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Liu, the towel. Final game. Level. Play.
So the umpire calls for the start of this third and deciding game. That run of points, a 10 of 11 points after the mid-game interval of that second game by Rankireddy and Shetty, really was quite extraordinary. And I can't help but wonder, Steen, whether that run has actually severely dented the confidence of the Indonesians.
I think it might have.
Service over. 1-0.
Now it's going to be interesting to see if Leo Carnando can step up again. First part of the third game, his tumble serve is going to work.
Oh,
fantastic block.
Service
from
over.
Shetty.
2-1.
But the problem is that Shetty, from an Indonesian perspective, Shetty and Rankireddy, they've found out what's working now. Blocking it, playing it to the sides of Maulana when he's at the net.
Brilliant.
Service over. 2-0.
And I actually think the Indonesians need quite a big lead here.
Good defence. Oh, it's long.
3-2.
And whenever the Indians get on the attack, the first attack is going to be super important. That is steep, and the Indonesians cannot turn it around immediately. Brilliant play.
4-2. Change. Sorry.
That's well judged. That wasn't long by
Service
much.
over. 3-4.
That's wide. That's going with the sideways drift.
Fault. Service over. 5-4.
Terrific smash.
Fault.
Brilliant.
Service over.
They're standing far forward, Shetty and Rankireddy.
Short. Yeah, got what it deserved.
6-5. Change. Service over. 6-0.
Wanted to put a little deception on it. You see there. He didn't really have the time.
Well, that was a nice shot from Carnando. But as far as the Indonesians are concerned, I'd like to see him more active on the front of the court.
Yeah.
Iraj, play down.
Strings went in the rackets
Service
of
over.
Maulana.
7-0.
That's why he made the error. Look where he's smashing from, Toasteen. First one was
mid-court area.
Yeah. First one was about the double service line, and the second one mid-court area.
Thank you. Seven. Oh. Play.
That's well left.
8-7.
Yeah. And he played that with broken strings.
8-0.
In fact, it was the smash from the back of the court where the strings went. Now, there's the strings gone. So he immediately ran forward. He must have called out to his partner to move out. He had to go forward. Did well there.
Yeah.
9, 8. Out.
Wow.
Service
Well, I know that
over.
was short steam, but the
9,
tumble
Yeah.
on that serve. Take a look at this, how that shuttle, I know it got deflected, but that is a wicked, wicked tumble. Brilliant attacking play by the Indian pair.
10, 9.
And swings went in the defensive shot from Maulana.
That's at least 3 rackets he's been
Yeah.
through in this third game. Do you think the tumble serve, if the Indian pair worked on their own tumble serves and they were practicing serving and returning to each other, then they'd learn more how to deal with it. Plus they'd have the weapon of a tumble serve.
They would be really scary. Really scary. It would
Thank
be
you.
almost impossible to put it below the top of the tape. And then you have Shetty and Rankireddy with their fierce attack, hitting at you all the time.
Yeah.
10, 9. Play.
10-9. Oh, challenge that.
Shetty challenges call out.
I think it went wide.
Do you?
It's also the side where the sidewave just
Yeah.
takes it out. Maybe a tiny little piece of the line, but I don't think so.
I thought it caught it. Oh no, you're right, Steve.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining. Service
So
over.
10-all in this deciding
10,
game.
all.
This rally to decide who has the advantage at the change of ends.
Play. Service over.
And the answer is
11-10.
Rankireddy and
Interval.
Shetty
Change ends.
have the advantage. Took that a little bit late. Carnando.
Don't need to push it. Then don't kick anymore. Your service now is good. Ball always stable. Soft serve. Then try to catch it. Make your angle small. Then talk to each other. If behind, you want him to catch behind, then you don't just body inside only.
Caught 1, 20 seconds. Caught 1, 20 seconds. Coaches, return to your chair. Players on court. Bagas, Yo, Sawisaraj. Chiraj. Players. 11, 10. Bagas.
Well, I think the umpire was asking them to return to court for some time.
Play.
Neither pair seemed to hear him. So just the 1 point advantage in this deciding game for Rankireddy and Shetty. Make that 2 point advantage.
12, 10.
And for the Indonesians now, they either need to put the service return below the top of the tape, short, or push it to the back line and be ready for the reply.
Good work from Shetty.
They scored 2 points, and Rankireddy hasn't been involved at all.
I'll go. Lovely drop. Lovely from Maulana. No, both the Indian players encroaching forward and nobody was covering the back. Shetty did well to reach that one.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he has any advantage trying to serve the tumble serve here.
Carnando.
No, you can see how much pressure Shetty is able to put on it, and the two Indians are playing side by the first service line. Regular serve or flick serve, and then start from there.
Way off the back line. And there's just 1 point in it.
Yeah. I would just flick and be ready in the defense. And at least you have one player that's a little bit out of balance. Wow, he was quick with his racket there, Chirag Shetty.
15-13.
I love the way he seizes even the half opportunities to step forward and pile on pressure. The drive defense moving forward puts your opponents under so much pressure. And it's forward again. And again.
16-13. Use your foot. Leo on court. Leo. (16-13). Ball 17-13.
Well, a full-point cushion at this stage of a deciding game could be significant. Mind you, mixed doubles that we saw a couple of matches ago, and the French pair came to 6 match points down. You just never know. But this is commanding now for the former champions, Rankireddy and Shetty.
It's not always a coaching makes a difference, but it's fair to say that something good must have happened there in the second game.
Yeah.
At 7-11 down.
Match point opportunities on a run of 6 straight points. Rankireddy and Shetty on the verge of coming through this very tricky opening round match.
Ball, service over, 14-20. Wipe the corners.
So still another 6 match points for Rankireddy and Shetty. Oh, dear me. Well, it ends on a service error from Carnando. A disappointing anticlimax end to what was a fascinating match. Coming from a game deficit, Rankireddy and Shetty to win 21-14 in the deciding game. A match lasting an hour and 6 minutes.
Match won by Southeast Saraj, Rankireddy and Shetty.
Well, from that 7-11 deficit in the second game,
21-14.
as you were saying, Steen, a remarkable turnaround. The coaching of Tan Kim He obviously made a huge difference. Yeah, not much celebration there from Tan Kim He, though. No smile. But his players are happy with the victory. Always good to come through a tough and tricky opening round. 18-21, 21-18, 21-14 in the deciding game. The former champions and former world #1s, Rankireddy and Shetty, through to the second round. Welcome back to the Indonesian capital of Jakarta.